2025 was filled with hype, controversies, and a whole lot of sass. Now that we're heading into the holidays, let's lighten up with the top 25 most badass flexes of 2025.
I said, well, you get to play with your toys in your mansion. My family gets to live in a double wide down by Carson Creek. Now, how's that fair, huh?
It's not. Just like it's not fair that you're ugly. Sometimes we gotta play the hand we're dealt.
We're kicking things off with a certified Giga Chad. Reacher doesn't spare anyone when it comes to age or size, and these bullies are no different.
And who the hell are you?
I'm Richard's friend. So if you're smart, you'll get out of here before I hurt you.
Such fools typically don't grasp their mistakes until they're thoroughly beaten down and embarrassed publicly by someone at least 3 times stronger than their entire crew combined. Richard's entire story progression in the series centers on his lifelong tendency towards passivity, so witnessing him get pushed around wasn't particularly shocking. What stretched credibility, though, was these tormentors genuinely believing they stood a chance against someone as physically imposing as Alan Ritchson. It's clear Reacher feels protective of Richard because he could have simply dismissed those jerks, but he opted instead to tear into their ringleader with some genuinely cutting remarks.
So you're stupid and ugly.
Reacher doesn't need to stress about bruising egos. As we've seen throughout the series, this man is a powerhouse who managed to take down another powerhouse who had nearly 12 inches of height on him.
You might be bigger and stronger, but I'm smarter.
Oh yeah, we really missed Hutch, didn't we? Well, here he is, and it's safe to say our man plays some very violent games. I suppose you may be surprised to learn that nobody had a sequel that came out in 2025, but that may just be a case of bad marketing. The film had some enjoyable moments, with this arcade crash out being a highlight. It's Hutch at his best, and he leaves no stone unturned as he bashes his opponents with toys and tools that would normally be used for kids. It's a hilarious kind of violence which works perfectly against the backdrop of the arcade. Look, it may seem excessive, but I'd probably have done the same thing if I saw someone unnecessarily smacking a kid in the head. Like, what kind of insane monster even does that? Side note, I feel Hutch's wife was given really strong Skylar energy throughout the film. I wonder if that was intentional, considering Bob Odenkirk is probably only second to Heisenberg from the Breaking Bad franchise.
How's that feel?
Jesus Christ, this show is good. Welcome to Derry is filled with loads of scares, and that's mostly because Pennywise is the one playing the games, even against freaking Dick Halloran. Yes, this is the same dude from The Shining, because both the novels were written by Stephen King, who honestly looks a lot scarier than some of his own monsters. Anyway, in this sequence, Halloran is supposed to use his psychic powers to locate Pennywise, but horror's favourite clown plays an Uno reverse and uses his powers to trick Halloran into jumping off a plane. Yeah, it's exactly as extravagant as I'm making it sound. It's a crazy flex to mockingly play with the man who's supposed to be the military's best bet against you. The effects are pretty decent for a TV show too. Honestly, this was the only flex worth mentioning on today's list, but when it comes to being spooky, this show is top tier stuff, so I suggest you check it out.
Halloran! Step back, Halloran! Halloran! No. Halloran!
A hand grenade.
Yes. We thought you were probably being sarcastic, but we didn't want to take the chance. Were you being sarcastic? Feel better, Carol.
Ah yes, we had to bring up the most hyped TV show of 2025. In Focus is an instance of calling it out for what it is. So I did add a Breaking Bad reference in the Nobody entry, and now I'm including a show made by its creator. Pluribus is a very interesting kind of story, because the supposed villain is some kind of alien virus that connects all of its victims to a hive mind that's, peaceful. So yeah, Carol genuinely has to save the world from happiness. Now, I'll give you some context. So let's just say that Carol is one of 13 people in the world.
What is happening?
Who are immune to the effects of this hive mind assimilation, referred to as the joining. In this scene, she meets Zosia, who's also a part of the joining, and they have a chat over some drinks.
Does the whole world get drunk when you drink? Like,
No, it doesn't work like that.
how do you say cheers in Sanskrit?
Shubhamastu. Roughly, it means may everyone be blessed.
It's a pretty boring conversation if you think about it, but then Carol totally owns Zosia when she calls her out for learning about whiskey by stealing the information from the distiller's brain. It's a wild flex that even has the hive mind quiet for a second. Yeah, this woman does not care for forced peace at all.
Actually, let me guess. It's all beautiful scenery. Just wave after wave of bliss and peace and everything is perfect.
Morning, sunshine. You've got something that I want.
Up next is Tom Hardy doing Tom Hardy things. Mobland showed us a lot of awesome things, and one of them is that fixers can be pretty scary if they need to be.
Normally, I'll take a blunt object, right, and I'll smash your fucking teeth out. And I'll break your ribs, I'll break your legs, your forearm, yeah?
Harry starts off the scene quite pleasantly as he simply threatens his pal Antoine with a detailed description of the things he can do to him if he doesn't hand over the memory stick. Normally, this would have been good enough for me to include the scene, but then Antoine makes the rookie mistake of offering Harry a bribe.
Come again. Keep the stick, but this deal goes ahead. Step back and... This is yours. 40,000? That's my mortgage, that, mate.
That pushes our man to use some actual violence and tell Antoine that all he needs are assurances. Forcing all that cash into Antoine's mouth was definitely a statement, and it elevated Harry to a whole other level in terms of his loyalty and principles. I mean, he's still a fixer, but he does have his own rules and standards, so that's quite impressive.
I'm not here for bribes. I'm here to get assurances.
Who's there?
Happy Prank Day Wednesday. My crazed stalker is an invisible 13-year-old.
Alright, now let's take a look at Jenna Ortega's only source of redemption. Yeah, Wednesday is the only good thing going for her now, because she has standards even for her stalker. There was a huge setup for Agnes DeMille to make her entrance, and she tried her best to look cool, but Wednesday simply nullified all of it by realizing her crazed stalker is just an invisible 13-year-old girl.
After I blackmailed them with incriminating Snapchat pics. Perks of being invisible. I just asked myself, what would Wednesday do?
It's my line, you little psycho!
I do believe Agnes is the right kind of complementary character to Wednesday because she's got a similar sense of craziness. Plus, she kind of looks like a Tim Burton character drawing come to life. If they look similar, I'd even call Wednesday and Agnes the modern-day twins from The Shining. Yeah, I may have been a bit mean to Ortega regarding her career, but you know she's cooked when her most viral moment from 2025 isn't even from Wednesday, but from being told to shut up by The Weeknd.
Shut the f*** up! Shut up! What are you doing? What the f*** are you doing? I have to go right now. I'm getting calls.
Car, open doors.
Neat trick.
Now you try.
Close doors.
Oh boy, this one had me laughing like crazy. Liam Neeson isn't the kind of actor you'd associate with comedy, but the scene I'm about to mention is the literal enactment of Bro 1, but at what cost?
Says you served 20 years for man's laughter. Must have been quite the joke.
You mean manslaughter? Well,
Frank Reuben Jr. needs to get a confession, and he's prepared to go to all kinds of lengths to get it, including playing the footage off his body cam, which is a bit disturbing. There's tons of questionable behavior caught on the video, but the biggest crime had to be eating a chili dog with black coffee for breakfast.
Maybe a little more.
Police prisoner!
There's a line, man.
Come on. Don't you dare.
don't do it. Don't eat it.
Oh, God, Frank.
I had 5 more that day.
Who the heck even recommends that kind of combination? There's loads of flatulence too, but after all the hilarious revelations about Frank and his obsession with Derry, he does finally get his man. So if we erase all the earlier video footage, this is a top tier flex thanks to great presence of mind. Yeah, I think I can afford Mr. Neeson this much kindness after all the evil traffickers he's taken down so far.
Yes, that's you inside the bank.
Whoever we was working for, they was crazy.
You're not gonna believe this one, Frank. Simon Davenport.
So you're saying these 2 cases are one case?
Time to feed.
Put down my son!
here's something from the MCU now. 2025 may not have been a good year for comic book movies, apart from manga titles like Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man, but the one thing that remains unchanged is that a mom will never stop flexing for her child. In the final battle against Galactus, everything seems to be lost, but then Sue Storm decides to give it her all in order to defeat the oversized villain. Yes, it puts enough of a strain on her to almost take her life away, but she accomplishes what she needed to do, and that was to save her baby. It's an insane achievement too, because Galactus is in the top tier of overpowered Marvel villains. Yes, the female Silver Surfer has to finish the job off properly, but that's probably because the audience needed to remember she's still a character in the movie. All in all, it was a nice way to give Sue some much needed applause, and the crazy thing is that Vanessa Kirby has recently given birth to a child in real life as well.
Tell Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Surprise, motherf...
And isn't there some rule about these things ending after the third ghost?
You're not happy to see me, Morgan?
Yes, this is what the people wanted, and we got it. Doakes is so back, and he makes his reappearance with the line that made him a viral meme the first time. We all have the suspicious Doakes meme nowadays, but the surprise mother lover line will forever be iconic. So to see him again in Dexter Resurrection was the best kind of fan service that you could ask for.
This is my mind.
Like it or not, Morgan, this conversation needs to happen.
I already know what you're gonna say. I'm a creep motherfucker.
Yeah, he hasn't come back to life, but we'll take anything, even if it's from a hallucination or a ghost. Honestly, I'd watch the show if Dexter didn't get too much screen time. Doakes is all I need. His persona was built up quite well from the OG Dexter series, and all of it culminates so well here. Man, I just wish Dexter keeps getting such hallucinations for the rest of the show's existence. It's definitely worth it.
Go to him, Morgan. Otherwise, you really are just some creep motherfucker.
Sidekick by Fong, slip by Connor Day. Spinning hook kick to the face. Blocked by Fong, blocked by Fong, blocked by Fong. And here comes the Fong. That's our move.
Next up is a series of flexes. Our main hero doesn't just beat his enemy twice, but also celebrates with his bae in the most badass way possible. Lee against Connor in the final battle may not have been anything revolutionary, and it's pretty much an exact remake of the OG Karate Kid finale.
Bomb, counter.
I mean, the bad guy, who's so dislikable, loses to the guy who's so likable and humble. Yeah, big surprise. However, Lee overcomes a sneak attack and spares his opponent after that, thus earning real respect. But of course, the risk factor is what takes this entry all the way to number 16, because our boy was like, yeah, I totally earned every second of this. What was hilarious was seeing Jackie Chan getting stuck in the middle of this romance. Our man was like, how do I get out of this now?
Lee!
Okay, you want me? Come and get me!
The Falcon is here now. Sorry, I mean Captain America. I may never get used to calling Sam Wilson by that title, but our man has no hesitation when it comes to calling out the Winter Soldier. Now, the final battle between Sam and the Red Hulk was surely the highlight of the film, but I'm not even considering the fight for this entry. It's after all the main attacks have landed and the Red Hulk comes out from under the rubble to reveal he still hasn't calmed down. This is when Sam mocks Bucky for misguiding him about the serum.
Should have taken that serum. Bucky was full of shit. Gonna lose that bet.
Yeah, definitely felt he would have been better off with it, but I guess that's what makes this moment even funnier. The dude doesn't even have Steve Rogers level strength, so competing against the Hulk variant was never going to be a wise choice. Well, at least the power of talking was on his side, and he managed to get out of the whole mess with his body intact.
Ross, we both know you can take me out with one punch, but I don't think you want to do that. Well, I know you've done some terrible things, but I think you're trying to change.
Oops. You think that's funny? Why are you so bent out of shape? I'm pissed because you killed the source before I had a chance to get any information.
That's what I said.
Yeah, this one's a really special moment. It may have come from a villain, but owning Reacher is not a small achievement. I mentioned how Reacher eventually took down Paulie despite being almost a foot shorter, but this scene here is why it's such a big deal. Reacher loses his cool and tries to teach Paulie a lesson with a fairly powerful punch, but it does nothing to him, which is a flex by itself. However, the giant strongman adds insult to injury by whacking Reacher down and really making him feel it. This isn't something we're used to seeing at all, even though it does make sense from a logical standpoint, considering how blessed Paulie is when it comes to genetics. Like, you could throw Alan Richardson, Dwayne Johnson, and even prime Mike O'Hearn at the guy, and it still wouldn't have been enough in terms of strength.
Hey, Punch and Judy, we got work to do. Move your ass.
Man, he rung your bell like school's out. I warned you he was coming for you. You got off lucky. He could have killed your ass.
I'm sorry, Reuben, for demolishing not one, but both of your lovely cars. Is this your revenge for Monaco?
Yeah, I waited 30 years and came all this way to humiliate myself on global television.
Brad Pitt is in the house. F1 the movie was a great film and I really enjoyed the whole ride. As far as flexes are concerned, this one's a little different because it's got Reuben reminding Sonny Hayes of his old ways.
Listen, he's cocky, he's arrogant, he's got a lot to learn.
You were cocky, you were arrogant, and you had a lot to learn.
The scene kicks off in dramatic fashion as we see our main character chilling in his tub, completely unfazed by the world around him. But then Javier Bardem does this thing he's really good at, called acting. The exchange between him and Brad Pitt was brilliant, with one side being animated and the other one being nonchalant. Reuben turns it around on Sonny perfectly when he calls the new driver arrogant and a few other things too. By pointing out that Sonny was exactly like him back in the day, Reuben managed to take the lead in the argument, and that was pretty cool to watch. All of us were expecting Sonny to aura farm and dismiss Reuben, but that's not what happened here.
Oh, I want to talk about the car. She's the world's first female tech director of an F1 team. I mean, that takes balls.
Wow. Is that your line?
Not lying.
Sorry.
She married?
Okay, stay there, in that tub of ice, until Budapest. You don't move.
What is this? Why aren't you dead?
Roasting yourself has got to be one of the most unique forms of flexing, and Robert Pattinson has done it well enough in Mickey 17. Now, the movie itself may be filled with plot holes and questionable writing, but what does impress us is the first interaction between Mickey's 17 and 18.
Oh God, I'm completely... What do you mean? Multiples. I gotta kill you.
Kill me? I mean, you should probably kill yourself if one of us has to die.
It's a strangely hilarious encounter with the both of them discussing why they shouldn't be executed, and I loved how 17 tried to mock 18 while running away, only to get smacked in the head. Yeah, I could totally sense angry eyeliner Batman energy from Mickey 18. Maybe Robert Pattinson can use the same energy for the sequel.
What? I have it with you. I have to rest. We can split the work over two, and we can take turns dying.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Chief, Jaburi never even left Mosul. Did he? All that intel you gave us. What's he give you a little intel and you guys give him immunity? Is this how this
That's
fucking
enough,
works?
brother.
Brother, you were a lapdog.
The next entry is straight out with the F-bombs. The Terminal list may have had a successful first season, but I guess Amazon couldn't afford to pay Chris Pratt the kind of fee he demands for a leading role, so they had to push him down to a side character. That doesn't mean Taylor Kitsch didn't kill it as Ben Edwards, and this scene was proof of that. His visible annoyance and control are examples of great acting, but the way he lets out those expletives were way too hardcore.
Waste of oxygen you're letting walk. You and you.
This man deserves an Emmy for what he did in this series, so let's at least hope he gets his flowers in due time.
Ben, that is enough.
You go tell my men what you just told me. You got the balls for that? I'll wait.
Commander,
Let's go.
I didn't come here to be disrespected.
Get him.
Kicking off my top 10 is Jason Statham in another Jason Statham movie. The formula sure works for him because the man's got jokes and the moves. In this sequence, he shows off the both of them as he turns the question around on Dutch when he asks if he's a cop, and then proceeds to beat up his men without a second thought.
Are you a cop?
No. You?
It's generic for sure, especially for Statham, but it works. If you throw Taken, The Equalizer, and John Wick into a blender, you'll probably get something along these lines, but I'm not complaining because such moments never fail to entertain me. At number 9, we have Daredevil scaring a scary villain. Muse had to be nerfed considerably to make this scene as impressive as it was, and I'm fine with that. After all, it's not often we get to see Matt Murdock unleash his violent side. Keep in mind that he lost Foggy. So this could be a way of coping with it. Either way, hanging Muse like that was cold AF, and it's crazy to consider that Matt could have actually gone through with it if rescuing the girl wasn't his top priority. But yeah, the dominance on display was definitely worth a place on this list.
Find the power button!
It's time for some dinosaurs. The D-Rex didn't get the kind of screen time we were all expecting, but at least we got to see it chomping on the villain like an evening snack. Martin really thought he was going to escape a massive dinosaur just by driving through it, so nobody felt any sympathy for him when he got eaten up. It's so casually done and the D-Rex looks so terrifying during the sequence that it could be considered unintentional flexing. Well, it's a dinosaur, so I don't think it was consciously trying to impress us, but it's still a solid scene in an otherwise average film.
Tell me where to find Horst Schiller.
Who are you?
You held a gun to my wife's head. He was terrified.
You have the wrong guy.
Yeah, I know. You didn't pull the trigger. So, tell me where to find him.
Up next is the moment Blazek realizes he better swim fast as heck if he wants to survive. Charlie may not be the type to take someone's life directly, but he can do all kinds of things with his tech to get his targets to speak. Something similar happens with Blazek in the swimming pool when he refuses to give any information on Horst Schiller.
This is a remote that controls a device that's been decompressing the air between the sheets of glass beneath you. If I trigger it, the glass will shatter.
Charles doesn't come across as an intimidating man, but the moment he tells Blazek to either give up Schiller's location or swim very fast, we could see badass vibes written all the way through. Man, if only the movie could maintain this energy for longer.
So tell me where he is, or swim very fast.
You have the wrong person.
No, I have exactly the right person.
In at number 6, we learned that one breath is all Kal-El needs to remind us how powerful he is. James Gunn's Superman was widely touted as the weakest of them all, and considering how much they nerfed him in the movie, I'm not surprised by those discussions. However, when he does decide to show off his powers, he doesn't disappoint. Take this instance with the black hole as an example. The powers associated with such a phenomenon are on a galactic level, and yet Superman only needs to exhale with technique in order to counter its unbelievable force. If only we had more moments like this one in the movie.
Man, you are so weird.
Why don't we discuss what you've been up to these days?
You know what I've been up to.
You don't want to talk about yourself. I see not much has changed.
Heck yeah, the Batman of lawyers is back. Suits can never truly be itself without Harvey Spectre, so his appearance was a must in Suits LA. The scene in question is a flashback to when Harvey and Ted Black have a little argument over who's Batman.
Hey, things go south. You send up that bat signal.
Why would I do that? I'm Batman.
Soon enough, the main character gives in to the guest star because he knows nobody can beat Harvey when it comes to the law. Our man even added to his flex by saying Ted was always Robin. Well, that's not exactly an insult, but it still makes Harvey look cool AF. Sadly, the show got cancelled, so this was as good as it got.
You want me to let him kill you? Or do you want to send me a signal?
Okay, you're Batman.
I thought so. You're Robin.
What? Wait, Hager. Wait! What is that?
You won't stop the entity, Ethan.
It goes without saying that Tom Cruise is an inspiration, and this fight scene only furthers that notion. The final Mission Impossible film may have been a huge disappointment to longtime fans of Ethan Hunt, but at least he gets to flex his skills one last time. That too while showing off his ridiculously toned physique.
You spent too much time!
The man is 63 years old, and I don't care if he's a movie star, you still need dedication to pull off that kind of body. Plus, he does his own stunts, so this fight against Hagar was all Tom. It was nice to see Ethan and his team fighting at the same time, and the final blow to win the encounter looked badass enough to land at number 4.
And I just love accountants.
Well, that's a coincidence.
Yeah. Do you believe in love at first sight?
Oh, no, that's an absurd, childish notion. Of course that's not real.
Imagine being so goated that you can cheat dating apps. Yeah, this is exactly what Christian Wolf does, although it's not like he can take advantage of it thanks to his personality. Even so, to be able to cheat the algorithms of dating apps is something a lot of simps would die for.
I data mined the top online dating apps and mapped a battery of your questions against theirs.
And?
I built my own dating algorithm. For example, women claim to value commitment and stability, but they swipe for dangerous and exciting.
It's a pretty cool sequence all in all, and even though there's nothing flashy, the sheer audacity of a man to be able to pull off something so ridiculous and yet remain so nonchalant is what drives it home. Also, this could have been a nice way for Ben Affleck to get over Jennifer Lopez.
Well, as long as I'm alive, none of us are living anywhere permanently. This is just a husk. Eventually, this body will be a corpse.
Up next is Sentry showing us all why he's in the wrong movie. The dude is a real one-man army and he violates the entire Thunderbolt squad without needing to even breathe heavier than normal. It's like a cleanup job, which may sound insulting to the squad named after the movie's title, but it is what it is. Nobody came close to putting Sentry under any kind of pressure, and he genuinely had to focus more on holding back than fighting. So the real flex is the composure he maintained throughout the sequence. I was honestly considering giving him the top spot, but he's up against humans with only slightly enhanced strength and weapons. If he were fighting OG Avengers, then that would have made a much stronger case.
She sent you here to kill me?
That's up to you. Or you can leave. Your choice.
You told me I could leave. That it was my choice.
It still is.
At number 1 is the one and only Baba Yaga. It takes a special kind of character to make the main star look like a side character, but that's exactly what John Wick does to Eve. He could have ended her so many times during this encounter, but he kept his composure and won all those rounds without having to finish her off.
Just leave.
Even in the end, where the both of them have a slightly more even battle, Keanu Reeves doesn't relent and offers Ana de Armas yet another chance to complete her movie without getting demolished. The man's aura is such that you just can't look anywhere else when he's on screen. And I know this may be a bad thing for the movie, but I only got interested the moment we got our beloved Mr. Wick show himself on screen.
Just go.
He killed my father.
I know.
Let me finish this. Rules.
And consequences.
Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the TV Regent, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.